Hey everyone, it's Jeffrey Gilbert, partner and co founder here at Juried Art Services. I'm so glad that you could be joining us, and I can't wait to get you started. Today, we're going to be setting up your first event. You've just received your credentials from our team and you're ready to log in. Let's go ahead and get you started. First, you're going to type in admin.jurying.net. It's going to take you to our site. Now, we have a new site coming out. It's going to be replacing the old site very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and click in on that, new admin. It's going to take you to the same login. Put in our credentials that were sent to you. Go ahead and sign in with those. Fast, easy, pretty seamless, sure. Let's just go over a few of the interface elements here in the admin. You've got your event manager. It's where you're going to plan all the steps of setting up your application forms to take your registrations, your applications. You're going to set your dates, your prospectus, all of the application fees and such. That's everything you do for managing the event while you're collecting applications. That's going to go into your event manager. Next phase, jury manager. When you actually get set up to do application management, jury management, create juror accounts, all of the things that go along with the actual e-jury process, that's where you're going to click in on the jury manager. And then lastly, most important piece is the artist accounts. Everything that you need to know about searching and looking up your artists, being able to communicate with them, having those contact lists, looking at what applications that they've had for you in the past, all under the artist tab. So you can see those at the top right here. Of course, we've got a help tab and an account tab for managing your accounts. But today, primarily, we're just going to be focusing on the event manager. So let's go ahead and click in on that. And what you see is we've got a few accounts here set up, or events here set up, and these events are just our demo events. We're going to go ahead and create one for you, mimicking that workflow that you'll be used to. You won't see anything right here because we don't have any events set up for you, but let's just go ahead and click on Add Event right up here in the top right. In the top right, you're going to generally find your action buttons that perform some sort of action. So let's always look up there, find the big green button, Add Event, click that. It's going to ask us what our event name is. We'll just come up with a new one, call this one Demo, Jeffrey's Event. We'll give it a nice short name. Usually we just like to sort of abbreviate these. We can call it Demo 2025 Jeffrey's Event. Then we can set up a little SEO, that means search engine optimization. This helps your listings get set up for Google placements, ranks it higher if we can actually collect these details. If you have a location where you know where the event is being held, if it's a plein air fest, something along those lines, this is think of this as like your Ticketmaster information for somebody who's buying the ticket to go. It's just the location where the actual event will be. You put in the address, country, city, all that stuff in here. Conversely, if you have something that's just an online exhibition or something that does not have that, or if you have an accompanying domain that you want to share as well, you can put in the domain associated there. I'm actually not going to fill in either one of these because this is never going to go live, so I don't have to worry about that. We'll just go ahead and hit save now. Our event is added. Seamless, super easy. We're taken right into the event now. If you wanted to get back to that, you can go back to the search under Event Manager here, and we can see right under here, we've got Jeffrey's demo event. That's the same one. We'll click on the number. Takes me right back there. Easy to get back to if you get lost. Now, you can see right here we've got our setup screen. Setup screen is that same screen that we just filled in those details, so don't worry if you don't have all the details that you need. You can always come back here and plug those in. No big deal. Next step is we're going to go ahead and set up our prospectus. So I don't have a prospectus handy for something, so I'm just going to grab one from another event that I have. We'll go ahead and copy this demo, and I'll flip back to the demo that we started with. There we go. Now I've got something on my clipboard I can just paste in here. Go ahead and paste that. There we go. Now I've got my content for my prospectus. Hit save. You can see this is a rich text editor. It's got all the things you'll need, including the ability to upload images, upload video if you wanted to do a video, and have those embedded right into your prospectus. One thing to note about the prospectus is it is stuck at 600 pixels wide roughly because of mobile browsers, phones and such. They'll view things in that narrow band. So we're not giving you the full width of the page here just because it has to work on all devices. So it's better to see it in this view. So we've also aligned it to the size so that we can fit it into more places in the site, which you'll see if you actually go on the artist site in the future and look at that. Then right when you're going to apply, your prospectus will appear right next to the application form, which is handy. So let's go ahead and save that. Big green button, saved correctly. If it sticks on this spinner, we have this fixed in a future episode, but or a future update to the site. But if it fits on, it's going to get stuck on the spinner right now. Just go ahead and click on our jury manager, back on our event manager. Go right back to that event. No big deal. What you'll see is it actually did save. I just that's a bug in this beta that we need to roll out a new version. Not to worry, that's coming. So let's go ahead and put a logo for our event. Going to drag and drop a new logo. And any event logo will work, but let's just pick the Juried Art Services logo real quick. You can see that was very easy to select and upload. We'll just click done when we're finished. That will commit us to having that event logo there. And we'll go back. You can see got the Juried Art Services logo right there. And now our logo is set. We're all set. And we're going to skip over event dates right now because as soon as you set your event dates, all the details that go along with dates, that's going to set everything so that your event would actually show up to the public. We don't want to do that before we're ready. So let's come back to that one. Instead, let's jump right to Application Form Designer. Under the Application Form Designer, this is really what your artists are seeing when they apply on the right-hand side over here. This is an approximation, but this is actually the code that they're going to see that's going to run for them. And you can see we've got a collaborated artist, categories to select from, your artist statement if you wanted that, and the number of images that you wanted to collect. So let's go ahead and you can also fill in some application instructions. Let's say, please read the full prospectus and pay close attention to the categories before submitting your work. There we go. We can see those instructions as I typed it would show up here in the preview. Get a live preview. It's really nice feedback. Multiple applications. Let's just go with no. We only want to have one application per category, or one application for the event rather. This is, say, multiple in the same category, no. And then exempt group. This is just if you have some previously award winners or folks that are basically going to be accepted without going through the full jurying process. You can set those up as a special group right here and say, yes, and then they can still apply and indicate whether or not they're an exempt group. Here we can see the total number of images that we want to be able to support. Now, the total number of primary shots that are available to upload at this point in time is between 1 and 12. You may only accept 1 for your application. You may actually say that I want to accept 3, but I want them to be juried separately. That's fine. We can split those applications later. But for now, let's say we want to accept 3 application images. Great. I changed that max primary shot, and I can see that those are automatically updated right here to 3 images. And if we wanted to have detail shots that go along with them, then we can also include those. This actual UI is changed in the future, so it won't be as confusing looking. There's not as much math. We just basically go total number of primary shots and then total number of detail shots. Right now, if you're not planning on accepting detail shots, you can just go ahead and change this to the same number of primary shots that you actually want to support. Now, let's say we want to just have 1 to 3 images. Do that 1 to 3 images right there. But let's say we for sure wanted to have every applicant have 3 primary works that they were submitting. Just change that to the same number, 3 on 3. There we go. No detail shots. That's fine. Great. Let's move on. Additional images. So additional images, whether or not you wanted to have a booth image, or perhaps you wanted to change the name of this and you wanted it to be set up to collect like a photo of the person, like a bio photo, something along those lines. The system's very flexible with this. You can go ahead and say yes. It'll ask for that additional image. You can change the label of it. Let's say we wanted it to be the bio, not a problem. Or it could be any kind of media that you actually wanted to collect that goes along with the application. Not a problem, very flexible. We can totally do that. For my purposes, just going to keep it simple. No booth image for me. We'll just look at the primary works that we're going to try to accept. And then application categories, whether or not we are going to categorize what the applications come in as, different work types and such. This is for the actual application category. Easy enough to set up. We are going to keep this. Artist statement, whether or not we want to have the artist statement collected, we can just simply say no or yes. This is pretty common that we have both of these cases and an optional case. And then you also have the ability to collect additional fields that go beyond the scope of our simple application form here. It could be tell us about your process, or are you a member of our organization? And you can have these things either as optional or mandatory. We will in the future have this as a ability for you to also create selection drop lists, and that will make it much easier for you to get information that is consistent between different collections. One thing to note about these is each one of these, I believe, only collects up to 300 characters worth of information for this. So these are not super long-winded answers here. These are pretty short ones. The long-winded one is really this artist statement, which I believe has up to 1,000 characters that you can type in, which we've done thousands of shows now, and 1,000 characters is really more than enough. And a lot of times we find it very burdensome, or the client finds it very burdensome if they up that to a higher limit. So in almost every case, we've found it that 1,000 characters is more than enough. Let's go ahead and hit save on this. We'll actually change this and this to not collected. We're going to keep this simple. Great. Event app specs have updated successfully. You're always going to get one of these little pop-up messages that tell you whether or not something was saved. Let's go to our artwork design, artwork form designer. And actually, it's going to make it much easier for us if we just jump over to categories first. So let's go ahead and jump into categories and let's select a category first. What kind of categories are we looking to create here? And here's a common one. Let's go with oils and acrylics. Actually, change that to we've got over 600 to choose from. In a newer version, this is actually a searchable list, so that's coming soon. Oil, there we go, oil. Got it. Yeah, in a searchable list, this is a way faster process. That's why we added it. But for now, let's just say we've got oils and acrylics, and those are the categories we wanted to take. Great. Let's save. Now we've got those saved. And when we go back to the application form, we can actually see those pop up in our live preview for the application form to pick from. And when we go into our artworks, we can also create separate artwork instructions. Please make sure the images are cropped without background colors and are in the proper orientation. Great. You can see right there, this is the same form that they'll see, and it's a good idea to, put whatever messages you wanted to include about the form, what your intention is behind the form, and then what your restrictions are as far as like the way that you want your images to come in, or the media that you want to come in, set right here as well. Say yes will require type, and then from the type you can see we have some types here. This system is actually going to be replaced by another system where it's going to allow you to pick from those categories. So you really be able to say this is an oil painting right here rather than image type 1 through 10, which is being replaced. So I'm going to skip this image type for now, even though this is totally available for you to use right now. Just in a few days' time, we should be replacing this system with a more nuanced system that is much easier workflow for everyone. Description, there you go, image description, whether or not you want that, easy, right? Same options, same exact interface for setting these up. So go ahead and go through here. We've got commonplace options, dimensions, weight, material, technique, year. These captions here are the labels on each one of these fields, and they are not required for you to fill this in. So do not feel like you have to fill these in once you select these options. You can come through here, just choose from the options, you're good to go. And that's really all I'm going to look to create for my artwork form for now. You can, of course, customize this to your desire for your event, but right here we can see we've got pounds, kilograms for units of weight, inches, feet, meters, centimeters for units of measure, all really easy stuff to pick from. And then your year selector is numerical, of course, and it's range bound to a specific set of years. So we'd save. Great. Now we've designed our artwork form. We've designed our application form. We know exactly what those will look like. We've selected our categories. All we need to do at this point is go ahead and select what kind of method of payment we want. Previously, we had supported up to, I think it was, well, it's a lot of different transaction merchants. And we found it easiest to maintain and support just one option, which was PayPal. We, of course, will be adding newer support for Apple Wallet and Google Wallet in the future, but for now, we're just going to continue to support PayPal. And so we internally support PayPal for us, or we can set up an account for you if you want to handle your own transactions and you want the money to deposited directly to your PayPal account. We can set that up. We just need to have that figured out. So when you're ready to set up payment information, go ahead and let us know what the payment information is that you want to set up here, and what the email address is that you want to associate. It's your PayPal business ID. There is some extra steps that you need to set up if you're collecting money from PayPal directly through our integration. So we can walk you through those at that point in time, and that'll be a future video that we set up. But for now, go ahead and set these up as payment@jurying.net if you're planning on using ours. Hit save. Great. Details are saved correctly. One of the last things that we're going to do before we get back to setting our event dates is our notifications. And if we have a wait list that we're using, then we'll have wait list here, but not all events have wait lists, so you may not need to set up a template for this. These notifications are the notifications once the jurying is complete. So this is kind of like a last step. Once the notifications are sent out to all of the applicants, They will be bucketed into your invited or accepted, your declined, and your waitlisted. And you can set up a template for each one of these. Let's go ahead and create a new invite template. We'll create a new decline template. This will just be defaults, but you can see it's that same rich text editor that we had before that supports videos and images. So if you needed to add images and video into here, maybe to convey a message of gratitude for the folks that have submitted applications to the system, you can go ahead and do that. Again, just use a YouTube link, or you can go ahead and just upload an image right there, and you're good to go. So save that. You can see that saves successfully. No big deal. And last step is if and when we're ready to go and publish this live, we will set our dates. Let's say that this is, today's date is January 5th. So we'll go ahead and set this application window from the 10th to the 31st. We'll set our application, our application fee to $30, maybe $50. If you have a late window that you want to accept applications into that has an additional fee, go ahead and select yes, allow late applications. Select the date. Let's go ahead and put that one further in the future. We'll say that is from the 1st to the late application window. Okay, this is the last date that you would be available to accept applications. We'll say we'll give them another month, and then here we'll add an additional $20 for the fee. Your cutoff date is the last day that you have to actually process those applications. So go ahead and put that one on February 28th as well. And your event dates, these are your dates of the actual event that would need to be held in the future. So we'll say ours is March 1st through, let's say, there we go, February 28th or March 2nd. Easily done. Now, one thing is, if I have a date in here that is an event date where the event is actually only on one day, how do I select one day? It's actually just click twice on the same one, and you'll see right there it's from that date to that date. Intuitive, easy. Click twice for a single day event. It's instructional right here, so just letting you know that's how that works. And for your notification date, these are the dates where after the jurying has happened and the applicants are looking to be communicated with. Let's say that would be on the 1st. We'll say we're going to do a same-day jury. Never do this, but just for the point of instructing, let's go ahead and say notification date. We'll say that's on the 1st. Let's say we do same day. Great. Let's save. Boom. Event dates are successfully updated. Now I should have an application live on Juried Art Services. And there it is. Upcoming registration. We can see it right there. And once we're ready to go, there's our prospectus. Boom. Everything that we copied and pasted in here. Now this page is also going to be updated once we roll out our new artist site. That's forthcoming, but it's that easy. So as applications start to roll in, you'll be able to click here, see all the applications. We can go to one of our other demos just to show you kind of how this shows up. And there you go. We'll see all of the images, nice previews. You can just sort of mouse over and see those. Easy peasy. Mark them confirmed with a single click. Jump into their application to view those and change the paid status if you needed to take payment manually. Or we can go in and we can do a detailed user search to see exactly who the folks are on here. And that's it. That's pretty much it. If you did need to remove an event for whatever reason, you've created one on accident because you hit copy and oops, I hit it and then I clicked OK twice instead of hitting cancel, and you create a duplicate, you can always just easily remove that by clicking delete. Hit OK again, and there we go. application or the event is removed. So there you go. That's the full life cycle of everything. And not to worry, if you accidentally bump the delete button twice on creating an event, we can always undo that for you behind the scenes. So nothing is fully destructive. Anyway, I look forward to supporting you and having the conversation with all your artists that need support, making sure that they have the best experience possible. We, of course, love the arts here, and we can't wait to see what kind of arts that your artists bring to the table as we're going through and supporting everything through the full Juried process. Look out for future videos on supporting or getting set up with Jury Manager, and then we'll also do some other previews and post these videos as a form of a series as we go and we continue to update our documentation and our services. Thanks for joining me. Jeffrey Gilbert, signing off.